We're at the historical farm. At the historical farm, and we're walking so we can see more experiences.
We can explore.
Everything. So that we can see the barn, and we're heading toward it to see some animals. Animal barns that and we're looking at it right there. All the animal barns, and these are this is the mud.
Yeah, that's the pig mud. The pig mud.
See the crops and the plants that. You see?
Wait, yeah, go ahead.
And this is the carriage transportation that they used to have back in the days.
So it's like a wagon.
Oh, and as you and the chickens. Come on, go.
We see the chickens right there in the barn, the hens, everything, the birds flying. We see the ducks right there.
Have it to hold it, please. Boxer, excuse me, man.
Eating their food. And that one is a huge bird.
Oh, guys, you see
Thank you.
The book we read that the lady said.
Oh, okay.
It's been a while since I went to the barn.
Oh.
An animal barn to see one of the animals.
There's a bird in there.
A what now? A what? A bird. Ow. A bird. A bird.
Guys, wait.
We're just looking at chickens.
Take turns.
As you can see, you can hear them just that.
It's too many people.
As you can see.
A pack so people can go in and out.
A straight line.
People are coming in.
There's one right here.
As you can see, people are coming in and coming out.
Over here.
Stop.
No, you was not. Stop lying there.
Stop pushing. Stop pushing people.
Hey! Stop screaming at each other.
Make a pack.
One line on your right. One line on your right. One line. Make it happen. One line on your right. Move back. Everybody's gonna see. Just move back. Move back. Make it work.
Sorry.
Move back then. Move back. Move back. On your right. On your right. Wait. Just wait. There you go. You guys stay there. They come out. You go in. That's how it works. You wait.
There's so many chickens. There's a rooster.
As you can see the chickens. Well, the roosters, I believe.
How did they get out? How did they get out?
They can't get out. Common sense.
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Okay.
You see the roosters, the hens, and everything.
See?
There are two. We can see 3 chickens.
See the rooster, how they stand? How they're stronger? If you see, look at the hands. The hands are fatter, right? They don't have no muscle. Okay?
See those? See those?
And you see the sound he makes? The hands don't do that. Only roosters.
That's a rooster sound.
I know that's the sound.
Farmhouse and the animals, and we just went in the barn, and everyone was coming in and out. See a brown cow eating grass and looking for food.
They can, if those, they're calves.
As you see, good. As you see, we have a better.
My name's Miss Linda. I will guide you here and there, okay? I want you to know behind you, those are Jersey calves. They're not even, well, they're about a year old, okay? So they were born like last September. The one behind you is called Mischief or Chiff. And her mom is quite like 13 years old now, okay? So Calico. And then we have another one called Carly, okay? So these two stay together, okay? They're quite close and friends. Now, maybe I ask you a question? Why do we have cows on the farm?
To get milk?
To milk the cow.
And make cheese, to make yogurt, and butter,
Yogurt, yes.
and cheese, and buttermilk.
One at a time.
Listen,
One at a time. You
we
can't
have to
yell.
make some rules. You can't scream and yell with the animals. It gets them upset.
That's what I was going to tell you
Okay,
next.
so
Right.
please don't scream and yell at them, and don't
Yes.
scream and yell anywhere.
Yes,
If you have an answer, if you know what an answer is, just raise your hand and she will call on you.
Okay.
Don't scream out.
Very good. We do have rules, and another thing is we don't want you like running all over the place either, okay?
Okay.
Because we have a
Stay
lot of
together.
gravel down here. All right, so somebody did say yogurt, that's true, but somebody said butter. Were you going to say butter?
that was him.
Okay, good.
milk.
Cheese. We actually make cottage cheese here before. We make ice cream, and yes,
Milk?
butter. We milk the cows. But the cows, the milk we get from our cows, we use for butter making. And that's why over 100 years ago, if you can count that far back, like 1881, or even 1920s rather, Mr. Foster went over to the Jersey Isle. Do you know where that is? Do you have any idea? Between England and France? And he bought like 20 herd of Jersey cows because he knew they were good in butter making, okay? Now I know you're excited, so what we're going to do is walk down here. And now remember,
That's a fake cow.
turkey. You'll have to take turns taking a picture, then step back so others can see, okay?
All right, Chimaka, step back.
We see all the animals, maybe birds and everything, and we see ants and eggs that they're sitting
Cameras
on.
and videos in the front. Everybody else step back.
Excuse me?
Take your picture.
I gotta go with them.
When you finish taking your picture, guys, move out of the way and let everyone else see.
Wait, the people who have. I see that. It's like a unicorn. I swear. Oh my god. Excuse me.
You guys, cameras and stuff, take it and move out the way.
Sky. Okay. I can't. Move over a little bit.
What? Joe, I see an egg. Right there. Look. Soraya. Look, there's an egg right
Excuse me, let me.
behind the bucket.
Okay, let me.
Oh, there's an egg.
This is your house?
If you already saw it, you have to move back. Let's go.
Now we're going to a cage to see some animals. Maybe chickens.
Not animals.
This is the old pit. This is what was under the building. You can come in, there's enough room.
Listen, two cut, come out. Mr. B's class, come out. Miss Lenna's class, come out.
Now listen, so you understand, we're not going to stay here, but let me explain something.
Let's finish, please.
This is how they were made in the day. They have steam engines and so forth to take the kernels off the cob for the animals, okay? Later, I don't know who's going to do it, but we usually grind the corn up to feed the chickens. But this is all done by equipment. So, all right, so you can see pictures behind you, and over here, right here, there is some equipment right here. under here would be, in the old days, like an open pit. And that was used to feed the animals. All the food was done on a fodder. They would chop up anything for greens, and they were stored underneath for the food for the winter. Whoops. All right, let's go to the other part of the upper barn.
Amira!
Lennon's and Mr. B's class, please go out.
Rutgers, stay. Rutgers, stay here.
Montclair, stay in
Where's Amira? Oh, Amira. There you see the barn, the tool that they use to...
Three class stand there in one line.
Ready? One,
One line.
two.
Please quietly. Face forward.
Wait, do it again, do it again.
Stop. Face forward.
These are the tools that they use to make stuff, and
All right, let's go, guys. Follow.
is like a tool that they used to teach people how to milk. That's the red one.
Move up, move in. Move up.
All right, do you know what building you're in?
We see the hay
What's the
that
keeps the animals
the
safe?
yellow hay
Barn.
that animals
Very
use.
good. Barn. Over here, this is where we store something that the animals eat. Raise your hand if you might know what it is. Okay. Now I'm going to go over here. I'll be right back because there's something else stored here that's
Miss Laura, can I get another guide to do our group because there was too many? Can I have someone come over here and just talk to our kids and break them up? Is there someone I can grab?
we're pretty much farmed out. I'll move around as much as I can in just a moment.
Okay, because it's too many of them to be in one group. It's not going to be
I know.
able to.
They could go up to the cottage if they'd like and look at the garden. They could go up to the historic house
And then
kinda
come back
look
down here?
Yes, that
Okay.
would be a good interim thing.
Okay, and no one else? Is someone up
There's
there?
no one up there at this point, no.
So we have to do it. Yeah, last year you had a lot more guides.
Well, it's all I can get.
Yeah.
We've lost a lot of volunteers this
Okay.
year. Let's leave that on the pile, thank you. And then here's something else that's important to animals. We have hay and not this. This is wheat, but this is
Stick. Grains.
if you get milk at school, you drink it through a
Straw.
This is straw. And while the animal eats the hay, this is what is his bed or her bed. It goes on the floor to make it more comfortable for the animal. And you won't be able to see it too well, but like the straw that you drink through, it's hollow. It's hollow. There's nothing inside, it's just like a big tube. And that's because straw comes from something like this, wheat. All the insides, all the nutrition went to the end part where the little grains are, where the oats or the wheat happen to be. So they eat that, they sleep on that, and the farmer gets oats or other grains to grind up so we can have bread and cereal and things like that to eat. Now look over there at those white boxes. Does anybody have any idea what they might be for?
Ooh.
Kind of a hard question.
To keep your clothes in like a dryer.
Sounds like an idea. Sounds like a good farm idea. Something alive will live in there.
Alive.
Not chickens, they're little tiny insects. Yes, these are parts of a beehive. And you can see they're different sizes and they can be stacked one on the other. We're expecting to get some bees to move in very soon, so we're getting their hive, their house ready. So that's what the farmer's been doing. He's been painting them and making a nice hive for the bees that will be coming soon. So Any questions about our barn? This is the place where we store things, and we happen to have the hives getting ready. Pardon? Well, that's probably the hay that you're smelling. Okay. Yes.
Do you take the hay to the animals, or you bring the animal here?
This young lady asked a very good question. The animals live and stay downstairs. So that means we have to get the hay and the straw to the animals. Now you can't see it because this is stacked there. But if we were able to go over in that corner, there's a big box. And the box is open. So if the farmer wants hay, he goes over to that big box with a big bale of hay, and he throws it in the box because the box has an open bottom and it goes directly to the downstairs part.
What is that?
All right, that is a hay fork. Sometimes they bring in the hay not in bales. See nice little rectangles over here? A long time ago, it would come on the back of a wagon all loose. Okay? So they would, a wagon, something like that, that blue one over there, would just be full of loose hay. And then they would take that big hook, they'd lower it down, grab the hay, and then move it over to where they want to store it. Good question. Any other questions before we use another spot? They can use it, but when we get hay in bales like that, we don't need the hook, the hay fork as much. That's more of an old-fashioned way of dealing with hay. All right, we ready to move on?
Yes.
All right. Let's, did you eat Tom Turkey?
Yes, they went over there. He said no.
Okay.
Over here.
Now, what we're going to do...
Over here, Sean. Sean, boy, Sean.
Please listen.
All right, this is our fake cow, and her name is on the bucket.
Woody.
Woody. You see why she's called Woody?
Yes, because she's wood. Because she's a wood.
She's made of wood. Now, well, I'll show you what's happening. Again, she's a fake cow, so we have to do some pretending. If this were a real cow, this would be the part that hangs down below her stomach. It's called an udder. And then you see these four things sticking out? They're called the cow's teats. And it's from the teats that we get the milk. Now, again, this is pretend, so there's no milk. It's really water. So, the boys are going to come over in just a moment when they get back in their line, and they are going to milk Woody on this side. One person at a time on the little bench. The girls will milk Woody one person at a time on that side.
Listen.
But watch how you're going to do it. On the teats, the best way to do it is, before I give myself a bath, pinch the bottom. That makes it work the best. Okay? So you're going to pinch the teat at the bottom. Do it a couple times, maybe 4 or 5 times, and then you're going to move away, and I'm going to show you something else to do. All right, we'll have a nice straight line for the boys behind me. Looks like the girls already have a pretty good line. All right, one boy over here and one girl over there. Milk Woody, and then come join me for another activity.
Mr. V, can you videotape it? Because I can... Okay, that's enough. Can you videotape it? Because I don't want it to get wet.
Okay, a couple squeezes and then join me over here.
How many times are you doing? Come on. Get him by me. I said get in front of me. What you done? Shh.
Guys, remember there's people, all the students waiting, please.
Go.
Feathers.
Okay, Ahmad, you got it. Get down from there, please, sweetheart. Shahad, please move over. Shahad.
Okay, would you just stay over here? Let me see the camera. Who has the camera and video? Camera and video person. Where's the camera at?
Right here.
I need that. I'm gonna take a picture. All right.
Hey.
Whoops. Maybe you boys better stand back a little bit. All right. Thank you. You're a great helper. Thank you. You're welcome. We're going to try to get the dart in the bucket. The first one. Terrific. Thank you. Let's see if somebody else. We're going to step back of that stick. There you go. You can get in the... Wonderful. Let's see who the first person is that gets 2 in the bucket. Back then, boys and girls had to make their own games.
Nope.
And this is... You still have to get somebody who gets closer to the bucket. Almost. Right by. This gentleman's getting quite a workout. Thank you. All right. See if you can do one more. Almost. Just join us over here when you're done.
I almost had that too.
Nice try.
One down. Almost. They're trying to get 2 in the
That
bucket.
game is impossible. So everybody can make 1 shot, but not make 2.
She made 2.
Who?
One down.
Another one.
Oh, the
Who
bucket
made
had been a
2?
little bit closer.
Who made 2?
No?
Thank you.
Who made 2? No one made 2 so far?
No.
They just made 1.
One.
Another one.
Oh!
Wonderful. We got 2 in. Let's see if we can beat that record. One.
Another one.
It's starting to look too easy.
I would have beat it.
Okay, let's stay over here if you're done.
Can we have a try?
Well, we've got other things to do. Whoops. Thank you.
She's
We want to make sure everybody
Guys,
has
if
a
you're ready,
chance.
just wait patiently.
One down. Whoops, it's going down. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's step back because you don't want to be the target. Thank you. Whoops.
It is fair.
Oh, jumped out.
Yeah.
Would have had 2, but it jumped out.
First one jumped out.
You're welcome.
That ain't mate. What?
We got 1
She's my
of 2.
best
You
friend.
guys are good.
Who the best one? Me?
Almost.
Oh, thank you.
1 out of 2. Not bad at all.
Everybody's gonna run.
1 down. Oh, 1 out of 2. That's good. Has this young person done it before? Has she already been over
Ready to go?
Okay. 1. Good.
2 out of 1.
Very good.
got 2.
Okay.
2.
No, more than 2. No!
Hold on. We've got more to do. We've got more to do.
Oh, boys,
Put this over here.
We're not going back to
Oh, I know, it's Farmer John's. Okay, now listen up. We ran into a 1900 carriage house. Miss Foster's carriages are in here. Before we go in to do any kind of tour, look straight up and what do you see?
Sled.
A sleigh, very good, Miss Foster's sleigh. Now, a lot of kids want to know, 1 second, they want to, how do you get that down? Well, on the other side, if you look up, you'll see a rope and pulley, and that's how they would guide it down. Miss Foster used to go sleigh riding a lot in January, okay? Now come on in. Now, sit down over here and relax for a minute. I'll answer your question in a minute, okay? Ooh, don't hang yourself.
Yes, wait for questions at the end, guys.
All right. Yeah, just for a second, okay? I'll answer your question in a minute. Now, these carriages that you see right here were all Miss Foster. This carriage here was used for fox hunting. Did anybody know about fox hunting? No.
Which carriage?
Right. Well, what I meant by that is Miss Foster, whose picture is right here, you can look at when you get up, with the white horse here, would actually use 2 horses on this carriage, and the horse towards the the heaviest of pulling would be that one pulling the wheeler as a wheel horse, and the other horse, the white horse, was used for the fox hunt, the resting horse. These 2 carriages on the end were used for about in Fosterfields itself with company, if she had company, or if she went to Morristown, okay? So, just wanted to let you know, and that sleigh above is an Albany sleigh, and she used that quite a bit, like I said. Now, do any of you go horse riding or horse riding at all? Do you know the difference between a side saddle and a western saddle? No. Do any of you know? Well, if you look at that saddle, you only see it has 1 stirrup. So that means that stirrup, she'd only put her 1 foot in, and her leg would have to cross over like this and sit in that pommel. Her leg gets crossed over. And her riding skirt will cover it, okay? So you couldn't see her legs. Now, well, she was really an equestrian rider. The equipment, when you get up behind you, you can see a lot of it was used even during the Civil War time. Mr. Foster, Caroline Foster's father, was in the Civil War, okay? So, now I'm sorry, what did you want to know? You asked me a question, I'm sorry. Thank you for waiting.
Sled?
Yeah?
It's like Santa's sled, but it's different.
Yes, he's right. It is like Santa's sleigh. Now, it's not just about riding horses. You have to take care of the equipment. So I want you to stand up, and we're going to circle around this table over here. Just make a, circle.
Guys, come on.
You too, everybody.
Watch your steps, please.
Right. Now,
Come on, let's go.
if you look over at this equipment, what part of the body do you think this goes on the horse?
Over here.
Very good. What's that called?
The chest.
No, we'll higher up. The neck. It is a horse collar. So, Calvin and Hobbes, whose pictures are right there, with Farmer Rob and the lawnmower, actually get a bath usually every day when they're working the field. So you come in and you have to take care of the equipment.
Listen, please.
So see the sheep's wool here in front of you? You may each take a piece. It's got lanolin in it, and you can wipe down the horse collars.
Wipe down the horse.
Yeah,
There you go.
so that it would clean it. Okay. That, or they would take a can of saddle soap, which would be like this right here, saddle soap. I'll have it left. Yeah, that's, there's not enough quality in here.
I know.
It is. Those are all the parts to, you know what? Putting those dressing, or the dresses, that's what they call it, onto the horses. It's like putting a puzzle together. Look at all the, yes it is, look at all the eye patches and straps and so forth. It's a lot of work. And this carriage isn't down here. This was Mr. Forster's Rockaway Coupe. Used to drive him by the train station. Well, they would drive him to the train station with the horses so he could go to work in New York. That's where he worked for about 20 years. And of course, on the side over here, you see the bed. Now out here, if you would just line up in 2 lines, like, facing me.
2 lines.
Facing me.
Facing this way.
Yeah, face me. Come over here.
2 lines.
2
boys and
lines.
girls.
1,
2 lines.
Now you come over here, and the rest of you stay there, okay? Just going back at each other. Now, these are your harness straps. So what you're going to each do is come up and squeeze the sponge out really well. You don't want it soaking wet. You want to wipe down the harness straps, okay? All right? And clean them off as well. So you come to this one, and you guys come over here. Go ahead.
One at a time, remember?
One at a time.
That other students want to go too.
Really good. I don't want to lose track of everybody, but I guess you know the time you're supposed to be where you are, or
Just one to the back.
they're still waiting for them?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a belt. It's a sound.
There's a blue group, over here, there's some.
But yeah, we broke into two groups.
Oh,
So half of our group went to the
All right, let me go
restroom.
find out.
Next.
Yes, guys, next.
When you're done, if I'm not back, somebody sit over in the shade there.
Okay. Come on, if you're done, just go over there.
Disgusting. He already had 2 sons die. His wife moved here. She had tuberculosis. His daughter was 4 years old. That was Caroline Foster. So I'm talking 1881. They moved to the big gray house on the hill. He was the rich man. He owned the farm. It was a breeding farm. He raised dairy cattle. So to raise cattle, all of those cows always had calves, and once they had calves, they always gave milk. They gave a lot of milk. They're Jersey dairy cows. So therefore, he would sell his milk at markets. I don't know if he got as far as Elizabeth, maybe, or through into Milburn and Springfield, but he would also make butter. The Woods family were the farmers that did the work, so they were the ones that lived in this farmhouse. There was no electricity on the farm in 1915, so everything was run by candle or lantern. The cities probably had electricity already, but not the farms out in the outskirts here. There was no running water. All our water came out of wells like that one there. They had to be pumped up into buckets. The animals needed water, you had to pump them water. You needed water to wash your hands, to cook with, to take a bath, and to wash your clothes. And I'm stuck here. This is Monday every day for me, because Mondays were wash day. So why don't half of you come stay here, and then the rest of you, half of you can go through the boards.
Okay. The milk cans were put down in the creamery, then the next day they were brought in and they were used to make butter. Okay? All right, we're going to go inside and see what the farmhouse looked like. Oh, because the stove, which was inside, was heated by wood, and that's how they heated the house. They had wood stoves to heat the house, too. Good question.
We're going to go in there nicely and one at a time. Wait a minute, boys and girls. One at a time. It's okay. There's enough room. Just relax.
The last person in needs to close the door. Keep it a little cool in here, okay? Feels a little better here. I'm gonna tell you about that. Could everybody please come over here?
Stay over here, please.
Don't
You're not
touch
touching,
anything.
you're not sitting, you're just listening. Stop drinking. You're not drinking.
This is a very old farmhouse, so we have to be very careful of what's in here, okay? All right. Okay. Could we have the door closed? Sure. Come in. Thank you. Okay, everybody stand down off here, and I'll tell you about the stove, okay? They didn't have electricity, so that meant that there was no running water. I don't know if you saw the pump out there, but they'd have to pump water and bring it in by pails. And that meant that they had to take their baths, probably here in the kitchen, in a big metal tub. They would heat water on the stove here, pour it into the tub, and then take their bath. And I'm guessing they probably didn't take baths more than once a week because it was a big deal to take a bath. It required a lot of work. This was their stove. It's not electric. It used either coal or wood. They would put the wood or the coal in the bottom and light it. And then they had an oven where Mrs. Wood would make rolls and bread and cakes. And there was a thermometer on the oven, just like there's a thermometer on your oven at home. And up here was the stovetop where she could boil water or use frying pans or pots or whatever. As we look around the kitchen, there are some things that are pretty familiar. The Woods family had 4 daughters. They had a baby named Dorothy, and she probably used the side chair. They had a sink.
Come around so you can see.
The sink did not have
Do not touch,
faucets
please,
with
guys.
running
Don't
water.
touch. You don't want to break none of that. Please do not touch.
So the water had to be brought in, and they didn't have paper plates. They were a big family, and Mrs. Wood fed the farm hands, so there would be lots and lots of plates stacked up here. You can see pot holders and ladles and frying pans and a grater, coffee pots. So a lot of things are familiar, but these are not familiar to you. And this is what I'm going to talk about next. We need one of the counselors over here to hold on to this one, and we need everybody divided into 2.
Neither of you are counselors.
Okay, let me hold this one. Don't. Do we have about the same number of boys as girls or no? We need them split into 2 quickly.
All right, so then 2 halves. This half, and then that half over there.
Okay. All right, then you guys stay with this half. Okay, and we need everybody in line. So we
Okay,
need
one line over
here,
here. One line here.
and one line over there.
Come around. Come around this way. Make a line here.
One line. Okay, make a line.
And you guys over there, make a line.
Everybody's going to get a turn to make butter. This is called churning butter, and I'm going to tell you just for a minute or 2 about the process. Okay?
Can you write?
Okay, come.
Because I don't want to.
All right, yep, this is pretty good. All right, so here's what would happen. They would take the big cans of milk, and they would take it in the morning from the stream under the creamery, bring up the cans of milk, and they would let it sit at room temperature for a couple of hours, because to make butter, you actually need milk that's almost sour. You know what milk smells like when it starts to go bad? That actually makes for good butter. They pour the milk into here, and the cream, because it's lighter, would rise to the top, and they'd skim off the cream. And that's where we get skim milk from, because the milk that's left would be skim milk or fat-free milk. The cream they would take and pour into these jugs like this, and then they would start churning it. And, you know, it's kind of fun for you to visit the farm because you're seeing the animals, you're churning the butter. But for the children who lived here, it was a lot of hard work. To make a quart of cream, a quart is the skinny little bottle of milk. Your mom probably buys gallons of milk, but the skinny little bottle of cream would make 4 sticks of butter, a pound of butter. So they wouldn't make it into sticks, they would make butter into balls. So they would churn the butter, and then after it was churned for 40 minutes, you'd have to do it, you'd get fat particles that would start to lump into butter. You'd take the butter and pour it into here, and then you'd keep rinsing it 4 or 5 times with cool water, and then you'd take the paddles and push it into a ball. So you'd have balls of butter. They would make 40 pounds of butter a day and take it to market to sell. And in order to identify their butter, that's an old-fashioned clock. They would, no, it's a clock, it's the clock. They would stamp their butter. This one has a cow on it, and that was the Foster's symbol. And you would stamp your butter on the top of the cow. You'd bring the balls of butter down to the farmer's market, and people would say, oh, that Foster butter is really good, because they have very good cows here. And they would look for the butter that had the cow on it, because that would be the Foster's butter. All right, so everybody's going to get a turn. We're going to turn it slowly toward you 5 times. Count slowly by 5. And then if we did this long enough, we would make butter. We would be able to pour the butter out into here. Okay, so your turn. Just turn it towards you. Hold on to it. Turn it towards you. This way. 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. Okay, next.
Next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job.
Next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, next. Other way, other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
4, 5. Good. Next.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Next. Go this way.
Okay. Thank you.
Guys, make room. 1 line. That's what we said. 1 line.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Good.
Okay. Other way.
Other way, other way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Next.
Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, good job. Everybody done? A lot of salads, a lot of potatoes, and they ate what we think of as pretty big meals at night. Things like roast beef and chicken dinner and things like that. They did a lot of eating because when you worked and lived on a farm, you needed a lot of food for energy. All righty, any questions about, that's a little porch that they would use as a mud room. They would use it to dry clothes on rainy days. They dried out seeds in there too. Sometimes seeds for planting, sometimes things like pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds for eating. Yes?
Does the grass here?
Sometimes when children come here, they have special activities where they use crayons and markers and things. Yes?
How do they make the mayonnaise?
The what?
The mayonnaise.
How did they make mayonnaise? Almost like butter. You almost churn it. You start off with oil and you keep whipping it and it turns into mayonnaise. How come you asked about that? Have you ever done that? Have you made mayonnaise?
No.
Yeah, that's how you make it. You make it from South Florida. Yes? Did you have a question? No? Okay. Back here. Yes? Question?
What are those?
Oh, those are old-fashioned aprons. All right, well, you guys, okay, one more question and then you're going to go out and see the rest of the farm. Have you seen the horses and the milk yet?
No. I got a question.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, that's just a coffee cup. Oh, yeah, that's a spoon. It's an old-fashioned spoon. It's got a monogram on it. So
It has a name on it.
yeah, it has initials on it.
Is that for the seed?
Oh, this is an old-fashioned camera, a very old, not like on your cell phone, but a really, really old-fashioned camera, which I can't pick up and have you touch because it's so old.
Here.
Right, guys. That was the last question. Put it down, please. Put the
Okay.
spoon down.
All righty,
Put
so
the
you
spoon
guys
down.
can continue on your tour and see the animals and try to stay cool.
This guy first. One side of it. Anybody know why do the farmers raise pigs? Listen.
Bacon.
Time.
That's why they raised them. When they were born on May 5th. Listen. They were about this big.
Everybody else move
They
back.
weighed 2 or 3 pounds.
Go ahead. You gotta move back because they have cameras and stuff. They have to take the pictures. Take the picture, girl. Don't put too far back. But that fell in there.
They rolled in the mud.
They're cooling off, guys. They're cooling off.
Okay. You got a good picture? Wait a minute. Move back. Get a good picture.
Pooping there. That's their bathroom.
Well,
They don't have a toilet to flush.
and your poop stink too. What you think?
They poop right there.
Everybody poop stink. That's what.
Okay, you guys are flowers.
Exactly.
What happened?
Oh, what your money for? I ain't gonna
Boy.
jump at you.
We're here, right? So you stay here.
This is
All right, guys, let's go then. You
All
guys
right,
have
let's
been playing
go.
so much. Let's go.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Let's look at some pigs and they stink. So now we're gonna be eating the carrots that they used to drive and for transportation. They did not use cars or buses like us. They use carriages.
Guys, don't bring me. Just take care.
Yeah, and these. These are fake horses. These are fake horses. Okay. And look. And that's the
It's okay. You got all this?
that they used to drive.
Yeah, nice. Gabriel.
And that's it.
Feel bad. It's coming back. Don't get on there. No, not all of you. Not all of you. Get out there. Guys, turn it on. Girls, slowly. Gabriel. Mira. I want you to be in the picture. What are you in the picture? Hey, that's it. Get down from there. It's not a game. Get down from there. You got the filming. Now get down.
And somebody else is
Hold on that way. Wait.
You better just come around this way.
As you can see, the engine parts of vehicle in the 19s, 18s, 17s, around that time. Well, in the 19s. As you see, people are overreacting and going wild.